Hey, what's up, guys? It's Original Boris here, along with Original,
Maxwell.
and me and Max are gonna start a new episode here where me and him just sit back, we talk, we discuss our life together, father and son, a way to spend some time together and really talk about things that are going on right now. But introduce yourself.
I am Maxwell,
Yes.
obviously.
This is episode 1. Not quite a podcast, but eventually we will get all the proper equipment to start doing a podcast. Right now, we're just going live, and I don't know how long this video is going to be. It might be pretty long, but don't know yet. But let's just discuss a few things. First things first, weather is very bad here in Washington State. It is really smoky out there. I'll upload a video later that I've been recording today.
Yeah, so, my English teacher's friend, they live in Oregon, and they had smoke for straight up 2 weeks.
Yes. What happened is, from what I read, is a 15-year-old kid lit a firework.
Lit fireworks in Oregon.
Yeah, and the whole mountains just lit up.
Yeah.
And right now, there's a bunch of landmarks that are being destroyed because of the fires. And this is all the way across the state. There's fires going on in Montana. There's fires that were going on in Canada. I don't know if they're still going on yet.
Yeah.
There was fires in northern Washington, and there's fires all the way on the western Oregon. And we're right at the corner of Washington State by the border of Oregon, and about an hour and a half from Idaho.
Yeah, but so if we still lived in Walla Walla, we'd be even closer, and we'd have a lot more smoke.
Oh, there's a lot more smoke here because I work in Walla Walla. And
there is?
Yeah, there is a lot more smoke here in Richland, Washington than there is in Walla Walla. This morning I was driving to work and the moon was just like bright red from all the smoke.
That is not normal.
So pretty bad right now.
Mm-hmm.
We had a really bad winter, a lot of ice.
Mm-hmm.
So I was expecting a bad summer, but it's been the summer of fires.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm gonna look up that picture that I took this morning.
So, the smoke is kind of bad for me because I have asthma. So, I have been having trouble breathing. So, it's kind of
Look
crazy.
at that. There's the picture I took this morning. I don't know if you can really see it. It's not gonna focus. Let's see. Where is it?
Let me see.
Wait, that's the wrong picture. No wonder you're not seeing it. There we go. Oh, that little red dot right there. That's the sun. That's how red it was this morning. But Max has really bad asthma, so.
And usually, the only times that I'm outside is when I get on the bus in the morning. Get off the bus in the morning and we have to stay outside, so it sucks because so 6th graders stay by the bus loop, 7th graders stay in the courtyard, while 8th graders stay where recess usually is. Yes, we have recess in middle school at our school. Well, it's kind of like recess. You usually just go outside. There's like this big hill.
Okay, I'm pulling it up just to make sure. It says we have a bad connection, so I was double checking on here to see if we were on it. It says we have a bad connection. There you go. So I was double checking on here.
So.
Okay.
So. And I also have to get on the bus for after school, and then I have to do crosswalk at Vista Elementary here in Kennewick, Washington. Well, in Kennewick, Washington. We're not in Kennewick, Washington right now, but we're in Richland. So that is why my asthma has been affecting really bad because of the weather here. It's really bad, the smoke.
Everything's really bad.
Yes.
So, anyway, so now that's the weather here in Washington State. Very bad. One thing that we want to talk about is this nurse in Utah who was arrested for not wanting to draw blood. I was telling Max about this.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, she got arrested for following procedure, and the cop flipped out and arrested her. And
What?
yes, for no reason. But this is Max's first time watching this video.
Wait, she followed procedure?
She followed procedure and she was arrested for it because the cop got mad. But this is Max's first time watching this, so let's get his reaction. And then
Brad, I'm just putting on speaker. So I have this. It says obtaining blood samples for police enforcement from patients suspected to be under the influence. Okay, this is something that you guys agreed to with this hospital. The three things that allow us to do that are if you have an electronic warrant, patient consent, or patient under arrest. And neither of those things, the patient can't consent. He's told me repeatedly that he doesn't have a warrant, and the patient is not under arrest. So I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. That's all. So.
Okay, so I take it without those in place, I'm not going to get blood. Is that? Am I fair to surmise that?
Alex, you're not representing. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea why he's blaming me. I'm just representing. Why are you blaming the messenger?
She's the one that has told me no.
Yeah, but sir, you're making a huge mistake right now. Like you're making a huge mistake because you're threatening a person.
Okay. No, we're done. We're done. You're under arrest. We're done.
First of all, that is assault / abuse. That is just messed up. She was following what she was supposed to do. She was just doing what she was told to do. That is messed up.
now we're gonna get another. There's another angle with the other cop that was.
Oh my
I think this is the other angle.
That is messed up. Really messed up.
Well, tonight, this is just shocking video of a nurse screaming for help as she's handcuffed at work.
When
the
was
police,
I think they said this happened in June or July.
From an unconscious patient.
But it just went viral last week.
The video, quote, completely unacceptable.
And tonight, the nurse who was arrested for just doing her job.
One thing I want to make clear is that I am all pro cops. I support our cops.
A fiery crash caused by a car fleeing police and traveling in the wrong direction sends the driver of this semi truck to University.
That's the accident. That's why. That's the accident where the guy ended up in the hospital, and that's why they wanted to.
And not suspected of doing anything wrong, but Salt Lake City police show up asking for his blood.
Just a nurse trying to protect the patient.
Charge nurse Alex Wobbles says the request for blood is not allowed under the policy the hospital established with law enforcement.
I'm going to arrest her.
While she's calling management, the officer becomes impatient.
She's going to jail.
She even prints out a copy of the hospital's protocol.
Three things that allow us to do that are if you have an electronic warrant, patient consent, or patient under arrest.
None of the conditions had been met.
I'm just trying to do what I'm supposed to do. That's all.
After that explanation, while she's still on the phone with a supervisor,
No, we're done. We're done. You're under arrest. We're done.
the officer makes the arrest for obstructing justice.
This is my department, and this is completely unnecessary. Then walk.
20 minutes later, she's released and has never been charged.
I just feel betrayed.
Anyway, that is the video on that.
That is really...
And 100%, like I said, I support the cops, but there are some cops that are just full of themselves. They take advantage of their job and they treat people like crap.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good example of one right there. That cop could not handle somebody telling him no. So he wanted to show his power. He arrested her, and he still didn't get what he wanted. So
she was just following a procedure.
So I don't know. I've had to deal with people like that myself. You know, I had to deal with somebody who tried to tell me how they wanted things, and when I told them no, they completely flipped out and started threatening me and my family. And
Oh, him?
yeah, that idiot. I won't say his name, but he's
hate
some idiot that lives over in on the other side of the state. He's not allowed to come anywhere near me or my family,
Except
But,
for Alicia, right?
except for Alicia for the time being.
Because they're related, so.
Yeah, they're related, but it's also come to our attention that he is also a woman beater. He likes to beat on women, and he likes to threaten people when he doesn't get his way. But anyway, that's a good example right there. Somebody who didn't get their way, and so he flipped out and tried to show his power. 20 minutes later, she was released, and nothing ever happened of it. But I don't even know if he's apologized. I heard he was suspended already until further investigation, but I do not know if he's actually apologized. That's usually what happens. These people that are kind of full of themselves, and then you call them out, they can't handle it, and then they end up apologizing.
They flip out.
They flip out, and then they end up apologizing later, expecting everything to be okay. And that's when you really have to put your guard up and say, no, it's never going to happen again. If it happens again, then you got to take the necessary steps to protect yourself, your family, or other people out there. But that was that video. What did you think of that video?
Messed up.
Messed up. I want to get Max's opinion on this. I actually wanted to talk about this that's why I wanted to watch it, but I wanted to get Max's opinion on it
It's
too.
really messed up. Like, she was just following the rules, and then this cop's just like, no, I'm not gonna do this. You can't say no to me, blah, blah, blah. You're under arrest. So, I personally think, like, it's messed up, and he should apologize. Like,
Yeah, he should. I'm not going to say that the cop deserves to be fired, because I don't think he deserves to be fired. But he does need to get some proper training. A lot of people always say when a cop makes a mistake or somebody makes a mistake, the instant reaction is to fire them. Just get him some proper training and move him to a different department if you have to.
Oh.
I don't know if he has a history of it, but if he does, then they'll have to take the necessary steps. But that's just my opinion right there. What else did you want to talk about, Max? This is Max's time. So Max, you can ask me whatever you want, and I will answer truthfully.
Hold
as
on.
truthfully as I remember.
Let me just do something.
And now go ahead and tell some.
Okay.
And then we'll get this going.
So hold on, I'm just doing something.
So mom, she had to go to her prayer group every Tuesday. Mom leaves, so Dad has to cook. So what did I cook the kids for dinner tonight? Little Caesars. Dad's home style cooking. Little Caesars, $5 hot and ready. That's how Dad cooks. That's how Dad gets down. That's how Dad gets down.
I love this. This is amazing.
When it's my time to cook, we're hitting Little Caesars.
Well, most of the time. Sometimes it's Pizza Hut.
Sometimes it's Pizza Hut.
Well, it is. Sometimes. No, well, that was one time.
Okay,
So,
ask me whatever you want to know. This is Max's opportunity to get to know his dad. And Mia's right over here on the couch, so she can hear everything. But go ahead. What should we talk about? Ask me whatever.
How was school when you were a kid?
School when I was a kid. Well, I never really took school seriously because my dad always told me. My dad wasn't very encouraging. He wasn't one of those parents that said, "Hey, you stay in school, pursue your dreams, and graduate, go to college." My dad always told us, when you're 16 years old, you can drop out of school, you can get a job, and you can do whatever you want as long as you stay in school till you're 16 years old. Because I think that was like the state law back then, or else you get taken away or whatever. You had to go to be to school till you're like 18, and then you drop out. My dad always encouraged us. He always encouraged us to drop out and get a job at 16. So I never took school seriously, and I actually ended up dropping out.
Yeah, but now he's all like...
I ended up dropping out, but then I became a fisherman in Alaska, and I did that for a while. When I came back, I went back to college. And I got my high school diploma. It's adult high school diploma. I didn't want my GED. I wanted my high school diploma only because I wanted to prove to myself that I could get it. So I got it, and then I went to college, and I got my college degree. And but yeah, school when I was in grow up, never took it seriously.
What is a high school diploma?
High school diploma is when you finish your education all the way from kindergarten to high school.
Because
But then you have to go to college because everybody, like, to get jobs nowadays, you at least need your AA, and you don't really realize how important it is until, like me, I've gotten lucky with my job. I've worked my way up. Yeah, I went back to college and all that, but I was given opportunities that I probably wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. I've done pretty good for myself. I'm not a millionaire or anything, but I'm not struggling either. I pay my taxes, pay the bills. Kids are not missing anything, even though they think they are. They have everything they need, even though they think they don't. But yeah, school. I never took school seriously, but I grew up and I encouraged my kids to go to school because it is really important. I really wish my dad had a different mentality, but my dad never went to school. He dropped out after the first grade in Mexico, and he started working. So that was his mentality.
He dropped out in first grade?
My dad had a first grade education. First grade education. And yeah. So that was the life back then. So when
that is hilarious.
So when I was a kid, he didn't think school was important. And me, I have a different mentality. They're going to school. They're going to college.
Yep.
And then they're gonna get rich and support me for the rest of my life.
I ain't getting
and I'm gonna retire.
rich. I ain't getting rich.
I'm gonna retire and live off of them. That is my plan.
Thanks for telling your plan to us.
Okay, what else
So,
do you want to know?
I just forgot. Let's think.
I know I titled this.
Oh yeah, I remember. So, yeah. I don't know how to put this into words.
Not yet, yeah.
Okay, what made you want to start a YouTube channel, and why did you start a YouTube channel?
Well, I always liked YouTube. The first time I heard about YouTube was in 2005. I think that's when it came out. I'm not sure.
It did.
That was the year that it came out? Mm-hmm. And I was at work, and some guy told me, have you ever heard of YouTube? And I was like, I didn't know what YouTube was. And they're like, it's a channel where you go and you can just watch any video you want. And back then, when you wanted to watch a video on the internet, you had to download it, usually illegally, to watch a video. So when YouTube came around, it was like, what? You can watch free videos? So that's how I first heard about it. So then I started watching it, and there were certain YouTubers. I was really into movies back then, so I watched a lot of movie channels, movie review channels, that kind of stuff. And I started up my channel in 2007, October of 2007. I actually had my channel for 4 years before I uploaded a video. And the reason why it took so long was because I was always nervous. Even though I wanted to do it,
Did you ever have a camera?
I had cameras. I've always had cameras, video cameras. I've always videotaped since I was a kid. That's one thing that I always did. I always had a video camera.
You have them.
I have a lot of videos, and some of them, some of them should be in a vault, never before seen again. But I was nervous about uploading, and then I don't know where Max is going. Okay, but my very first video that I uploaded was when I ate the Trinidad scorpion pepper, and that was actually the night that Max had surgery. Max had a major surgery in Spokane, Washington, and
What did you do?
my friend had mailed me from. I have a friend in Boise, Idaho. He had mailed me a Trinidad scorpion pepper, and he told me to try it. And it had arrived in the mail, and for whatever reason, I packed it and took it with me. I don't know why. My son was having major surgery, and I packed a pepper. So the day of his surgery, it was a major surgery, and I think we were there for a couple of days, and then he was released, and that night we stayed at a hotel. It was on November 11th, 2011. 11/11/11. That's when I uploaded my first video. It was at a hotel. Max was he had been released from the hospital. He was feeling a little better. He was still a little medicated, but so we had decided to stay the night at a hotel. And for whatever reason, that's when I decided to do my first YouTube video. I had his mom record, and I ate the world's hottest pepper.
Yeah, I could hear
and
her.
it was miserable.
I could hear her in the background.
And I didn't know how to edit, so when I uploaded it to YouTube, I had like Scorpion Pepper Part 1, Scorpion Pepper Part 2, Scorpion Pepper Part 3. There was like different parts of the video that I uploaded because I didn't know how to edit them together at the time. So if you watch my earlier videos, you have like these little clips, Part 1, and then another video, Part 2, and then another video, Part 3. That's how I uploaded back then in my early days, and the quality wasn't that good. I'm not saying that I'm the greatest YouTuber because I'm not. We don't even have that many subscribers, but we do this for fun.
When we were little, you made a video called Mia, Max, and Toby. Because we had an imaginary... Remember we had that imaginary friend named Toby?
Yeah. Well, you know where Toby came from?
What?
I was watching a scary movie. I think it was Paranormal Activity. And the ghost's name was Toby. And I was watching it, and the kids, for some reason, the next day, they had an imaginary friend, and his name was Toby. So I remember they were sitting there talking to Toby, so I was videotaping them and following them around.
Wait, what? Did you upload it?
Max, Mia, and Toby.
Where did Toby? So I remember Mia was with a blanket, and you're just like, Mia, it's the middle of summer. Why do you have a blanket? She's like, because I'm cold and it's fuzzy and warm and I want it.
So that's where the imaginary friend came from. Like the very next day after I watched that movie, all of a sudden they had an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
Max, Mia, what's up? Yeah, I think Max, Mia, and Toby.
Yeah.
Here's the video. It's 4 minutes 37 seconds.
I've already watched it.
Yeah. 5 years ago. Man, time flies by fast.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So anyway, that's what I always wanted to do it. I always loved videotaping. Like I said, growing up, I always had a video camera. So I always liked it. And YouTube was like the big thing. Like, wow, that's awesome. I wish they would have had YouTube when I was a teenager, but I probably would have gotten into some serious trouble with some of the stuff that I used to videotape. But anyway.
Wow, okay. Now, I know you've already told us this before, but this is for our fans. How did you and Mom meet?
Me and Mom met at my brother's house. It was my brother's wife was pregnant
with the twins,
and with the twins, who are now 16 years old.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, are they 16?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 16 years old, 16 and a half. And my brother's wife was pregnant with them, and she was friends with Lisa, their mom. And at the baby shower, I showed up afterwards, after the baby shower was over and they were cleaning up. I showed up, and she was there. And it's funny because she had her niece and her nephew with her, and I thought they were her kids. And we didn't really talk. We spoke briefly. That's how we met.
Wait.
We only spoke briefly, and we didn't really know each other that well.
Her niece and nephew?
Yeah, she had Josiah and Annalise with her.
Okay, Josiah.
Yeah, she had Josiah and Annalise with her. So
I was a bit confused because Sarah's her cousin, but we call her
yeah.
Aunt Sarah.
So yeah, anyway, it'd be her second cousin, but she calls her nephew. But so that's how we met. But we didn't really talk much that first night. It was just like, hey, and then in my head I was like, man, she's got a lot of kids, and one is black and one is Mexican, and yeah, she's got a lot of kids. And then
okay, well, that was obviously racist.
How was that racist?
I don't know.
Anyway, and
it just sounds racist.
And I just thought Mom had a lot of kids from a lot of different men. So,
okay.
She had the whole United Nations with her when I met her. So anyway, so that's how I met Mom. But we didn't talk.
Did Annalise really look that Mexican?
Annalise is Mexican. Her dad's Mexican.
I know, but like she looks white.
Not really. Annalise looks Mexican.
No, to me she looks white.
Anyway, but anyway, that's how. But we didn't really start talking. We only spoke briefly, and I'd see her every now and then at my brother's house. But I'd say it took a couple months for us to really start talking. But that's how we met at my brother's house at a baby shower.
I'm so surprised that like Annalise is almost 21.
Yeah.
It's like time flies.
Anyways, what else? What else we want to know?
Okay. How much surgeries did I have?
You've had about 15 surgeries.
What were some of them?
You had a heart surgery. You had a lung surgery. You had your exploratory surgery. You had your feeding tube. Man, I can't think. You had eye surgeries.
I had some of these.
Yeah, you had I don't remember what those are called.
Appendix?
No.
No.
Yeah, you had your appendix removed. But the only reason they removed your appendix is because they happened to be doing surgery in that area. And they were in that area, so they just removed your appendix while they were in there.
Okay.
But you didn't have surgery for the appendix. They just removed it because they were in that area.
Okay.
And you had a couple other surgeries that you'd probably be too embarrassed if I mentioned.
Yeah.
So we won't talk about those. But they were very serious, very serious. One of the most stressful things that you can possibly go through is when your son is in surgery and they tell you there's an 80 to 90% chance he's not going to survive. That is stressful.
Well,
it's a couple hours. Believe
what do
me.
you expect? I was born like 5 months early.
Yeah, it was a long time. Max weighed up 1 pound when he was born. 1 pound 10 ounces. So.
I still can't believe that.
1 pound 10 ounces. I remember when I walked in to the NICU.
The what?
The NICU, the NICU.
Oh. The what?
Where the babies are kept when they're born,
Okay.
in the incubators. And I remember I walked in and they said, your baby's right here. And I looked over and there was like a baby. And I'm looking at it and they're like, no, this is your son. And I turned around and there was another baby, another incubator. It was like, it looked fake. And I remember the first thing I thought about was, wow, my son looks like a wrestling action figure. He looked like a small Andre the Giant wrestling action figure. He was that tiny, like 12 inches long. That's how long he was, 12 inches, and he looked fake. He was so skinny, you could see his bones, and they told us he probably was. The first thing the doctor said was start making funeral arrangements because he's not going to survive.
I know, but look at me. I survived.
And I have a headache every day. But you know what? I drove up there every single weekend. Mom was up there the whole time. There was a period where Mom stayed at the hospital for 5 weeks. She did not leave the hospital for 5 weeks. She lived in the room. She bathed in, she took her showers there. She ate there. I would go up there on the weekends and I would take her clothes so that she could change there. She did not leave for 5 weeks straight, just living at the hospital.
I think I'm gonna cry.
Yes. And I had to work, a mortgage, we had bills. So I would drive. It was 3 hours away. Back then we lived in Walla Walla and they were in Spokane. So every day I had 3 hours there, 3 hours back, 3 hours, not every day, every weekend. On Friday, I'd get off at 10 o'clock at night on Friday. And I would already have my pack bagged and I would leave work, drive to Spokane, get there at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I would leave Monday morning at about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning because I had to be to work by noon. So that was my life for about a year. Back and forth every weekend, Spokane.
This is gonna be my 5th piece.
We ended up killing Mom's motor. Mom had a 1999 Toyota Corolla, and he was born in 2004, so the car was only 5 years old. And I ended up putting over 200,000 miles into that car. And we killed the motor. My dad has that car now. He put a new motor in it.
Wait, which one?
The Corolla, the little light brown one that my dad drives.
Oh, that one?
That was Mom's old car. That's the car that I used to drive to Spokane in. It was only 4 years old and 5 years old.
I was in it for
we put a good 200,000 miles onto that car.
I was in it for like 1 minute or 30 seconds.
And I remember when Max got released from the hospital the first time. I'm driving home and I got pulled over by a cop. I got a speeding ticket. I was driving over there for a year, there and back. I never got pulled over. And on the drive back, when he got released from the hospital, and I even told the cop, like, oh, but he just got released from the hospital. And he still gave me a $125 ticket.
Wait, 125?
That punk. But I was
Whoever
speeding.
you are,
I was going up.
pay my father back.
It was 70-mile speed limit. I was going 81, so I deserved the ticket.
When did I get released?
In 2005.
I thought I got released in 2006 for some reason.
Well, you were in the hospital. In and out in the hospital. Like every year for like every year on average he would be in the hospital for like 2 weeks.
I
every
remember
year.
one time I either had a surgery or I was like really, really, really sick, and this was in Walla Walla. I had stayed in the hospital.
Yeah, you would stay in the hospital for like 2 weeks at St. Mary's.
No, I was like 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah, it was on average. It was for like 2 weeks at a time every year at St. Mary's. Just because of your asthma.
Yeah, but now
His mom.
Now I usually don't.
All right, you are live.
What?
You're live. We're live on YouTube. You're live. What's up?
I can't hear you. What?
You are live on YouTube.
Oh,
What's up?
okay. Well,
In other words, be really nice to us.
I actually was going to be really nice to you and tell you that I love you and to tell you how grateful I am for you.
Oh my gosh, are you reading a script right now? Are you practicing for an upcoming soap opera?
Whatever.
What's up?
That's really why I was calling. And to tell you that I'm grateful that you are the man that you are and that you're dedicated to...
I was just telling Max and our 2 YouTube fans that when I first met you, I saw that you had a bunch of kids with you, and like you had a black kid and a Mexican kid and an orange kid and a yellow kid, and I thought they were all yours. Yeah.
And none of them were mine.
And then Max was like, "That's so racist."
I actually did. I said that. I'm just like, that's so racist. And then he's just like, no, it's not. I'm just like,
No, I just thought your mom had 20 kids when I met her. Later I find out she was a preschool teacher. I guess that was important, I guess, too. All right, did you make it to Walla Walla okay?
Yeah, I'm just now getting into the back roads.
Was there a lot of traffic? A lot of construction?
A lot of construction, yeah. So I just called
Gosh.
to remind people.
Okay.
But I wanted to call and tell you that. And yeah, I was just thinking about it, and you are a good man and you help with a lot of things, and I appreciate you.
You know why Mom likes me? Because of my muscular, sexy physique.
That's part of the reason.
All right, well, I'm probably not going to see you tonight. It's already
I know.
6:30.
What time do you work tomorrow?
I got to be up at 3.
Okay, so you're going in early. Okay.
For the rest of the week, I'll be going in at 3. Okay.
Okay, and then I have meetings after school. We have our Wednesdays back, so
Okay.
just FYI. Okay.
All right, bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Oh, I hung up on her. She was saying something else. If it's important, she'll call us back. So, anyway. So, we're at 32 minutes, Max. Anything else you want to talk about? So, that was baby Maxwell. In another video, we'll go more into detail about when Max was born. You know, I'll talk about where I was when his mom went into she didn't really go into labor. It was more like an emergency. So, we'll talk about that. And
wait, really?
yeah, she got sick.
Oh, the reason she got sick was because of this. Oh, somebody called me a leprechaun today.
I called you a leprechaun this morning.
No, it wasn't you. It was
He's wearing
not.
all green, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Good morning, leprechaun."
Somebody said it to me because so they were just like, I'm a leprechaun, and just like, and because they have like, they're a redhead and they were wearing a green shirt. I'm just like, no, I'm a leprechaun because I'm wearing all green. Plus I'm short. She's just like, oh yeah, and then I pushed my chair like all the way down because it was like one of those spinny chairs.
Yeah.
And so then I'm just like, now I'm a leprechaun because I was really short. Yeah, I'm wearing like all green. My shirt is green.
That's for the first thing
Oh, my
I
hair is
said when
purple.
I woke up this morning. I saw him. I was like, "Good morning, leprechaun." That was the first thing I said.
Wait, you said good morning, leprechaun?
Mm-hmm.
I did not hear you.
You told me to be quiet. You were in a cranky mood. He's really cranky in the mornings, like bad.
Except for during the summer and on weekends.
Oh, I wonder why.
Because I gotta wake up early.
So he gets to sleep in. Here, I'm gonna show you.
I need a picture of me.
I'm gonna show you a quick picture of Max when he was born. That's Max.
Okay, so I need some.
That's Max when he was born.
I need a picture, like, of a copied picture, not like an actual picture. But, like, if you can copy a picture or something, I need it. Because I need to paste a picture of me for my project.
Okay. When do you need it?
It's turned in on Thursday.